Physically, the Nokia E61 handles much like a RIM BlackBerry that has lost its scroll wheel. The keys on the E61 are fairly large and have a softer feel to them than those found on devices like the Motorola Q or Palm Treo 700. If you are wondering where the memory card slot on the E61 is, it can be found underneath the metal battery cover on the back. The battery does not have to be removed to swap cards, however. Due to the landscape orientation of its display, the main menu on the E61 is laid out in a 4x3 grid of icons instead of the normal 3x4 grid found on most other Nokia S60-based devices. What appears to be a bug in our E61's firmware has the linkings between the number keys on the keypad and the icons mixed up. Each icon has a key that it is linked to still. It is just that the order of them no longer makes sense since the developers seemingly forgot that the E61's number keypad is also laid out in a 4x3 fashion. One of the more interesting UI widgets used in the S60 user interface is its dual-mode list and tab system, used in the settings screen shown here. An interesting and new setting in the E61 is the new access point groups that can be defined. These allow the user to define their primary access point, often Wi-Fi, and then have the E61 fall back to a secondary access method like Edge data when Wi-Fi is not available. Messaging on the E61 looks just like it does on other 3rd edition S60 devices like the N80, except for the landscape orientation of the display, of course. Multiple email accounts can be defined and used at the same time, and the system supports both POP and IMAP servers for regular email, as well as a number of third-party push email solutions. The email system in general performs quite well, but it exhibits a number of very odd quirks when an IMAP-based account is configured for automatic retrieval. The most serious of these issues is that the current data connection, be it Wi-Fi or Edge, will never get timed out, even after hours, resulting in a quickly drained battery. The music player application in the E61 is the same as found on other 3rd edition S60 devices. It has a music library function that will allow you to select tracks based on artist, album, and other properties, and supports M3U playlist files. Playlists and tracks can be copied over using the freely downloadable Nokia PC Suite or via simple USB connections. Playlists can also be created and edited directly on the device itself. The Calendar app in the E61 should be familiar to any user of prior S60 devices. The new landscape display lends itself well to the calendar layout, and the calendar can be viewed in both month and week views. The Nokia web browser is quite possibly the best web browser to be found on a mobile device. It can render complex CSS and JavaScript laden sites, like our own, with no problem at all. An automatic bookmarking system keeps a history of all the recently visited web pages and organizes them by site. Keyboard shortcuts allow the user to quickly change zoom settings, jump to the bookmarks, or pan around web pages using the joystick.